What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be reacting to Score 90's video on why Barcelona have signed Nico Williams, the implications behind the deals, how he'll integrate, price being affordable, how the release clause will go, his incorporation into Barcelona's system, both internally and externally. Everything will be discussed, and of course, I'll give you guys my thoughts and analysis as we go along. But before we get into it, of course, make sure you guys smash the like button down below, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get right into it.
And he succeeded in that. Yamal. It's going to go over to Williams now.
That was the time to get him, you know, peak Euros. Wish we got him then last summer. Love the England tears though. Let's not be around the bush there.
It is often said that for some players, the Barcelona train only comes once and never comes back. But when you're as good as Nico Williams, that doesn't really apply to you.
The train has come and go and came back for quite a few Barca players in recent history. Again, you know, the examples that we talked about on the channel, your Antoine Griezmann, your Thierry Henry, your Nico Williams now, Felipe Coutinho, it could be another one. Those are the ones that initially come to the top of my head. I think we chased Arda Turan for a year or two as well, so... At the time, though, last summer, it was quite highlighted that the trains only come by once, get on it or not, and now we're kind of back again. But again, it's for different circumstances because Nico came up and said, take me back. I'm sorry, guys. Let me come. So a bit different, but I can see his point here.
Tried but failed to sign the 22-year-old winger last summer, but they went back to him this summer and have succeeded in signing him.
Whoa. Time out. We didn't go to him. He gave to us.
This time. But why did the Blaugranas want him so badly, especially after the season Rafinha just had playing on the left wing? Well, you're going to find out
badly,
in this
not really.
video today. This is why Barcelona signed Nico Williams. First of all, Barcelona still do not have a natural left winger in the squad. Yes, Rafinha did a great job.
We do have Ansu Fati. I waited to see that if we said Ansu Fati, but we said Rafinha. We do have Ansu. That is someone, but nobody of note. They are correct
playing
there.
In that position this season, but we also saw that for him to perform well there, it required the team to always play a certain way, and it also put a lot of burden on Balde. And that was why when Balde picked up an injury, everything on that wing seemed to crumble. With a natural left winger like Nico, the burden on Balde will surely ease up, and Barcelona...
People are talking about that as well. Like if Balde has to do less overlapping runs, since Nico will have that 1v1 ability, will Balde's numbers drop, will his performances drop? Where I disagree. You know, we had Neymar, for example, your prime Hugo Bonito left winger, and we still had Jordi Alba bombing up and down that full back position. So I think it still would be important to look at the right hand side as well, whether Koundé is natural or not, still making overlapping runs. He got 11 GA last season with Lamine in front of him, who had 43 GA. So I think Balde will still be involved. A lot of people mention that, but this different outlook is very important and something that Barcelona do definitely need.
Can attack different games in different ways, making them less predictable for their opponents. And there are a lot of Barcelona fans who are already asking about game time, especially for Rafinha, but best believe that won't be an issue.
He probably gets
in the just concluded season, players like Lamine Yamal and Rafinha were overburdened because they didn't have good enough replacements. With Nico now in the squad, there will be adequate rotation, which will afford rest to key players. I mean, look at Champions League winners PSG. They had Dembele, Barcola, Doué, Ramos and Kvaratskhelia.
Of course, Gonzalo Ramos was not used there, but that they had four great forwards: Dembus, Kvaratskhelia, Doué, Barcola. So those three of them was interchanging. A lot of times when I was talking with my friend, of course, PSG Int, he would mention that he doesn't know, Cavara will definitely start Dembus, but it's kind of between Barcola and Doué or vice versa in other different scenarios. So having depth, of course, is very, very important, not only for your team fitness-wise and for your coach as well to kind of maybe incorporate different styles, but also for the opponents as well. They can't be as easily predictable as we used to be.
Forward positions, and each one of those four guys plays regularly because of good rotation. That could be Barcelona with Lewandowski, Lamine, Rafinha, Varane and Nico Williams next season. So, if you're a Barcelona fan, instead of bothering about game time, you should be excited. Also, the fact that Rafinha can play as a left winger, right winger and a 10 means there'll always be space for him in the squad. So, don't worry about him at all. But then, why Nico? What's so special about him? Why not any
Let's
other
hear it.
left winger on the market? Well, first of all, there's one very obvious thing. He already has a good relationship with more than half of the Barcelona squad. He's very close friends with Lamine Yamal and Alejandro Balde, and he also has a good relationship with the likes of Pedri, Gavi, Fermin, Ferran Torres, Inigo Martinez, Cubarsí, and Dani Olmo. So he'll definitely be feeling at home in Barcelona, that's for sure. As we've seen many times in football, and especially with MSN, when certain players have chemistry on and off the pitch, they tend to play better together. That could really...
Again, very quickly, that is very, very true. But you also don't need chemistry to perform. I just want to make that point clear.
be Nico and Lamine next season. We
Shouldn't
saw
be
how
a strong
together
point.
They helped
Just a
Spain
nice
conquer
little thing
Europe
there.
in 2024. They could also help Barcelona conquer Europe together next season. You see, historically, Barcelona's left wing has always been a hub for great dribblers, from Ronaldinho to Neymar. So Nico Williams coming in makes so much sense, because you could argue that he's in the top 5 of all dribblers in Spain. He didn't play too many games in the 2024-25 season, but he still managed to dazzle whenever he was on the pitch. He was directly involved in 18 goals for Athletic Club, helping them reach the semi-finals of the Europa League and qualify for the Champions League group stage for the first time in 10 years. But it wasn't just that he was getting the goals. The types of goals he was getting showed you how special he is. Curlers, outside the box golazos, counter-attack goals, tap-ins, solo goals, you name it. He scores all types. This is a guy who is able to take a game by the scruff of its neck and single-handedly decide it. When the stakes get really high, it is players like this you really need. He can shoot well with either foot and can play on either flank. He is a good ball carrier, very fast, and can also create. In the 2023-24 season, he finished with the second most assists in the league. This right here is an all-round attacker. He will surely elevate Barcelona. As we saw this season, Hansi Flick loves quick attacking direct play, and you just know that a player like Nico Williams will fit perfectly into that system.
Spot on.
You know what else makes him great for Barcelona? He is one for the present and the future. At just 22 years of age, Nico was the youngest left-wing option available to Barcelona. The other options like Luis Diaz and Marcus Rashford are at least 5 years older than Nico. And guess what? Nico has already proven himself in La Liga.
Also, Nico's played at, Bilbao now for, I want to say 3.5, 4 seasons, in the first team as well. He came in very, very early, number 30. I remember it. Everyone's like, oh, this is Inaki Williams' brother. I'm like, oh, God, he's got reincarnation. But hopefully he'll be on the better side.
Haven't. On top of that, he has been playing in the Spanish First Division for 4 years now and has even won a domestic trophy, so he might be young, but he already has ample experience. And while his strong points are obviously his attacking qualities, Nico also knows how to put in a good shift defensively. He was in the top 10 for most ground duels won among forwards in La Liga this season. So don't worry, Barcelona's left wing won't be missing Rafinha's work rate when Nico plays. On top of everything, the price was also really good, so we're pretty sure Barcelona saw it as an irresistible market opportunity. They just had to sign him. Finally, Barcelona signed Nico Williams because he proved that he wanted them and them alone. According to reports, the Spanish winger said no to the likes of Real Madrid, Arsenal and Bayern Munich because he only wanted Barcelona. And as per reports, Bayern Munich were even offering him a lot more in wages, but he turned them down to join Barcelona. So, being encouraged by the players' enthusiasm to join the club and not listening to any other proposal, Barcelona were convinced that this was the guy for them. Long before an agreement was reached with Athletic, Nico had already said yes to a 6-year deal with Barcelona for less than €200,000 per week. So yeah, it was a no-brainer. This right here is a signing that we're sure every Barcelona fan is already very excited about. Nico Williams is such a Barca-coded player who's already friends with pretty much the entire Barcelona squad and has proved himself in La Liga, so you just cannot go wrong with this one. We really can't wait to see Lamine Yamal, Alejandro Balde and Nico Williams dance together on the pitch in a Barcelona shirt next season. How many goals and assists do you think Nico will get for Barcelona next season?
That's a good question.
Do you think this was a good signing, or are you of the opinion that he'll flop in Catalonia? Let us know.
Well, that's pretty much it from the video. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does in his first season. Of course, God forbid if the signing doesn't, hopefully it does go through. But the video there highlights a lot of the points that I mentioned throughout the whole past year we've been linked with left wingers. The age is ideal, the nationality, knowing the country, the price is great, the wages are even better than I expected. Him being friends with again half the team, it just beats everyone else. If Luis Diaz maybe cheaper, had a bit, a few more years on him, he could maybe really put up an argument. But every road points to Nico Williams from last April. We've known this. Rashford's come up. Even Kavicha, we've been with him a little bit before he went to PSG. We had Mitoma links, Gabriel Martinelli. Nobody fits the mold to perfection like Nico Williams. He had to wait an extra year for it, but hopefully this time it does come to fruition. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss in this video. Thoughts on Nico Williams being suited for Barcelona, price, age, attributes, all sorts of stuff. And when do you think this deal will get done? We are hearing that hopefully it will be next week. But when do you think? You think he'll be there for the start of the preseason or not for, of course, Barcelona? Again, drop a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.
Go,